Hello everyone, this is Sabrina Jean. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this pick a card reading. There's something that you've been waiting for, which is about to happen. So I'm hoping I'm going to bring you some good news in this pick a card reading and hopefully some answers to, something you've been working through, something that you've been waiting for, and why. So I haven't pulled the cards yet. I will pull the cards as I move through the pile. So the only thing you need to do is choose a cover card or choose a crystal. If you're drawn to the elephant, this is a green calcite. If you're drawn to the girl in the bathtub, this is a Herkimer Diamond. If you're drawn to this leap of faith, it's a blue calcite. And if you're drawn to the castle with the steps, the pink calcite, this is group number 4. So choose whichever piles are getting your attention the most, and let's dive in. Pile 1. Hi, pile 1, technically group 1. I'm not sure what sounds better, pile or group. Okay. So this is what you've been waiting for. What do you need to hear? If you chose the green calcite crystal, power. Elephant might be your spirit animal as well. The number 40 to me represents stability, but it's not just a material stability, it's also spiritual with the 0. But let me show you what I mean. What is the good news? So I've been playing around with a new tarot spread. I know that many of you are feeling like you're waiting for something, but you're coming out of something and you're stepping into something new. So this is going to be the layout of your reading in this video. Let me pull 4 cards. That's 2. This one's stuck there. And then what you're stepping into, the good news, it's almost kind of like a shift or a cycle and a beginning even. Okay, I'm going to put this away. Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the 5 of Wands. Make sure there's room on the camera. So even with these, the messages are saying, at some point in the past, there was something that you wanted to try, you had an amazing idea, or you wanted to experiment or have an experience. And maybe some of you have started a new project, something that you've been taking responsibility for. And this could be your beliefs, your self-worth. The pentacles can also relate to magic. That's the original interpretation of pentacles. But also, there's something in your creative mind that you've been experimenting with in order to increase your income. But what you may not have realized is that this path that you've been on, or what you've been navigating, or the challenges that you've been working through have not only helped you to grow or to experience or to even help you to find something that you truly enjoy doing, especially when it comes to creativity. But what you may not be aware of right now is that the whole process has also been helping you to mature, to grow up. And technically, what your soul has been seeking is more fulfillment, emotional fulfillment in your daily routine, in your work, right? Your job, especially if you have a corporate job, your soul is really just longing for a deeper fulfillment somehow. And this may have been a cycle in your life that has been challenging for you, as it would be challenging for anyone, especially if you were trying something new. So let's just look at the other cards. What are you stepping into? What is the good news? Honestly, I keep picking up a lot of cards, messages, and energy in private readings for people around this new Aries energy, which is going to be happening soon. In a way, it's kind of liberating the soul, helping you become more confident in yourself or your goals or your pursuits, your dreams. Wow. So I was just talking about fulfillment, seeking fulfillment, deeper fulfillment, but also connected to your self-worth and the amount of money that you're capable of earning. Many of you have been trying something new, even if it was like a new job. It's possible some of you have been trying different kinds of jobs, several jobs. Maybe you've been jumping jobs, trying to find that right work, that right space, that right paycheck. And in the process, maybe experiencing power struggles with your boss or your supervisor or your coworkers. And on the deeper level, again, your soul's just been looking for, wanting more fulfillment, feeling more purposeful. So what you're shifting into is more empowerment to, well, the Knight of Wands is more about movement, it's inspiration, liberation. But the Ace of Cups here is referring to your heart's desire. I feel like, okay, so these cards even are, blah, I can't even talk, are even saying that group one, you're completing a life lesson, but this lesson is something that you've been choosing to experiment with. You've been wanting to experience, maybe change your income, find something that you are worthy of, something that's enjoyable for you. You're looking for more fulfillment, creativity, but experiencing, right, power struggles with others, especially in the workplace, or this could be an inner, what's the word? I just had the word, like an inner conflict, an inner challenge. Like you keep trying, but it's just not right. This is what you're coming out of. What you're stepping into next, or what you have the option to step into next, is the realization that everything that's led you to here and now up until this point has technically revealed to you through the experience and your choices what you don't really want, what you're not really going to take from the work environment, realizing you are worthy of something more, something better. And in a sense, this is liberating to you, especially your mind, because your initial thought or idea was absolutely a wonderful idea. It helped you to choose those experiences to help you to realize that, well, help you to realize what you don't necessarily want. You don't have to keep yourself stuck in a situation that does not support you or is not fulfilling or enjoyable for you. And this so you've got heavy Saturn here in your cards, meaning this recent cycle may have been a really slow-moving cycle because Saturn kind of forces us to slow down and take on responsibility for wherever it is transiting in our astrology chart, of course. And what's interesting with Jupiter here, this is saying that however long you've been looking for that perfect job or a career or a project, there's always been plenty of opportunities showing up for you, whether you're creating your own or they've been opportunities offered by somebody else. There's been plenty. Jupiter is also known as the teacher. It expands and brings you the opportunities for you to learn, to experience, and to explore. And again, heavy Saturn can make you feel like a victim or like you have no other option in the matter. But you're ending out this huge, slow-moving transit with Saturn. Honestly, for the last 3 years or so, Saturn has been in the sign of Pisces, causing us all to experience fear, like deep hidden fears that are attached to, how am I going to survive? And just recently, Saturn moved into the sign of Aries, which is helping to remind you that you can empower yourself. But In my experience, the fastest way to empower yourself is to realize that everything that you've been trying just isn't what you want. And there must be something new. There must be something better. There must be something more that is available for you to allow you to find fulfillment, happiness in your work, your career, or whatever this is that you're truly seeking. Maybe you're just seeking to gain more power and control over yourself or your life even. You know what, especially if you've been navigating, I don't know how many years of feeling disempowered, not feeling like you have power control over your life or your work or your finances or your health or well-being for that matter. This is a Saturn transit and what it can cause anyone to experience. Saturn is a planet of maturity, and so it forces us to take on responsibilities that challenge us to grow, to rise above, and to evolve, and to become more mature as well. The good news is something more carefree, lighthearted that is available for you to step into, and the first action has to be taken by you. It's important for you to choose to realize that you do have power over your life when you choose to re-inspire yourself or try something new or look for something that feels better. Maybe an easier job that's not so stressful, but allows you to feel fulfilled and happy at the end of your work shift. Remember, it's coming back to fulfillment, happiness, and emotional maturity. That's actually where your true power lies. But true power also lies within the choices that you make for yourself. So you're moving away from the stuck, the competition, the disagreement, the opposition, into more self-empowerment, love and passion for life, excitement, something more fulfilling, but also something very blessed and plentiful. And even with this card, the Saturn in Sagittarius, it's like this long-term cycle. It's freeing you to see the bigger picture, to rise above the situation. Realize the truth of what you're happy with as far as work and money is concerned, and what you're not happy with. So let's pull some cards to get a little more information. So to add to the left side what you're coming out of, there's like two cards there. What is pile one coming out of? I feel like it's this one. Remember, you can't change anyone but yourself. True. You can change your mind. You can change what you're thinking about. You can change what you're focusing on. You can change what you want in life or in work. What is group one moving into? Okay, let your feelings out, all of them, even the ones that scare you. So this is technically emotional freedom. Free from fear. The boldness to make a choice that will help you to move forward or regain control over your life or your financial situation. But it also starts with this emotional maturity and emotional balance. This emotional strength is probably what you have gained the most in this last cycle. So let's pull another oracle card. Group number one. What are they completing? Is this one card or is it two? I think it's one. Okay, so optimism, right. Anytime we experience the opposite of something that we want or prefer, and when we free ourselves from that situation, it puts you in the perspective to choose something more optimistic. Maybe even learning the difference between pessimism and optimism. These two cards are wanting to come out. Originality. Interesting. Let me put this over here. So you've got Mercury, Aquarius, an original mind, an original thinker. In fact, with the number 11, I'm thinking this empowerment you're stepping into is an opportunity to invent something new or to be different, inspiring yourself with a new sense of optimism. But the 11th house also refers to your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. So the good news is that if you're not already feeling inspired to take action, to create something of your own, something that's original, using your mind, I feel like you have the option to move out of the 9-to-5 workforce or the corporate world to create something of your own, something that's unique from your original mind. And this is what's more fulfilling because you are being you. You are creating based on what you enjoy instead of creating opportunities based on what someone else is telling you to create. You know what I mean? I feel like you have the power to liberate yourself to create your own business or a creative project somehow. And again, the challenge here is, do you feel powerful and the confidence within yourself to become your own financial support system, your mental support system? Do you feel confident in becoming responsible for your daily routine, especially if you're creating something that you're sharing on social media? And the more authentic that you are creating from, with passion and happiness and excitement, the more people you're going to attract to your social media. So again, you're coming out of this phase and you're moving into this phase. And so it might seem like a slow transition, but this is you regaining your power, moving away from feeling like you need to rely on others for a sense of feeling powerful in your life or your health, your well-being, and taking matters into your own hands to make life and success happen for you. At least that's how I'm interpreting these. So it does require a lot of responsibility and focus and dedication, but this is the good news I see for you. It's an opportunity for you to rise above the situation, realize that you can create something of your own that can also financially support you. That's also feels like work that you absolutely enjoy too. Okay. Group 1, these are your messages. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. I'm wishing you a fantastic day, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now. Hello, group number 2. If you were drawn to the bathtub, in nature, in the flower garden, this pleasure card. Okay. So welcome to your pick a card read. This is good news. I have good news for you, but this is meant to be a transitional reading. I've been kind of playing around with a new layout. So let me show you exactly what I mean. If you're drawn to the Herkimer Diamond, okay, this is your group. And okay, we're using the Astro Matrix. So there's something that you're coming out of and something that you're stepping into. So it's kind of like a transitional reading. What are you moving out of? Like a lesson or an experience, and what are you moving into? And this is the good news. So do I want to pull them from over here? Maybe. Okay, maybe not. They're sticking. Let me go, well, like, okay, guess we'll take the Hermit card. I don't want that one. And what are you stepping into? What's the good news for group number 2? That out of the way. Okay. Not in any particular order. So there's that. There's that. Wow. Wow. So this would be the past or maybe the present moment, what you've been dealing with, working with, maybe even looking for something new, a new opportunity. Let me fix these. Renewal, a new beginning, maybe even a new life. Some of you may have been having to learn how to seriously manage your budget or deal with limited resources financially. But what's interesting is that the Four of Swords here is saying what you've been experiencing recently and what is about to end has been, well, it's happening for a reason. Whenever you're experiencing any kind of limitation in life, so some of you may have been dealing with a health issue and you could no longer work, and so you had to spend time at home. But it's really easy to start feeling bad about ourselves when we're stuck at home, especially when we want to be back out there in the world and we're not feeling worthy or capable because we can't go out and do and create and earn. But what you've been experiencing, which you may not be aware of right now, is a sense of renewal, a renewal of purpose. So let's look at the other cards here. And I was already picking up on the fact that, right, it can be depressing, especially, if you feel you're not able to go out there, or if you're not, you know what I mean. If you're feeling down on yourself or unable to take care of yourself. So you may have been dealing with a lot of mental battles as well, including what you believe about yourself, why you're having this experience. So there's definitely, there's momentum here that is referring to being in victim mode. And the whole reason for this and what you're stepping out of, this good news is that this whole process of limitation or feeling stuck or down in the dumps, it's been trying to get you to recognize your intuition or what feels better for you. Maybe your spirit guides have been trying to connect with you. Maybe the angels have been trying to reassure you, to help you to remember that you have the power to pull yourself out of any situation. You have the power to pull yourself out of any kind of mindset at any given time. But it really just kind of depends on how deep you allow yourself to go down into this despair or this depression. But your spirit guides are always there. They're always around you. And for whatever reason, you've been having to experience some sort of isolation or separation or even a health condition. Because usually, especially if you've been brought to a point where you have to just surrender to it and go with the flow and you stop thinking about it all the time, you can realize that you can easily lift yourself out of this depressed state. But still the choice is yours. Do you choose to live? Do you choose to be happy again? Do you choose to rise above the situation? Maybe this is just a mental battle. However, maybe it's just your thoughts stuck in a pattern that are keeping you stuck in this low vibrational energy. So really, the whole thing that you've been experiencing, and of course this is going to affect your physical and your emotional health and well-being too. It's almost as if maybe in a deeper sense you challenged yourself, how low can I go? How deep can I navigate into this pit of despair? Right now I'm referring to the Princess Bride. Like how low is this experience going to take me before I realize that I have the free will to choose to pull myself back up out of whatever situation my brain or my mind has got me into? And I'm saying this me because I've been there myself. So that's what you're coming out of. And right now, everything is trying to show you the other side, the other perspective, the optimism, or at least helping you to realize that really you're the only one who can pull you out of the situation, this low vibration, by making different choices. When you're ready to free yourself from that experience that does not feel pleasurable. Okay, so maybe even the bigger reason why you've been navigating all of this is to help you to experience, to know the difference, what it feels like to be in the deep end, so that you can re-choose or claim to go back into the happier side or the happier perspective. You can rise above the situation. This is making me think, okay, so what I'm seeing in my mind is the symbol 8, the figure 8. It's an infinite connection. And so we all actually experience waves of energy like this every day. There are ups and there are downs. But as soon as you realize that, you can recognize that moment when you're feeling down, and you can surrender to that and realize that you can find something pleasurable to lift yourself back up again. Don't allow yourself to go back down into that deep cycle of despair. But this also challenges you and reminds you that you definitely have the power to pull yourself mentally out of any kind of depths that are no longer comfortable. Everything, including your spirit guides, are trying to help you to realize that it's just a shift of that one thought that can inspire you to start, lifting yourself back up again. It's almost like it requires the reversal of thoughts, going from a state of despair or uncertainty or even depression to realizing, I don't have to stay in this state of mind. And maybe it's the state of mind that is important for you to realize before you choose to pull yourself out of that. And honestly, it does just require a change of your perspective. The thoughts that you're focusing on. Look for something new. Look for something better. Look for something happy. Spend time in nature. It requires a change of scenery, and maybe just pulling yourself out of this headspace that is keeping you, it's almost like trapped in this spiral. But the star card here for group number 2 is saying you've always had the option to free yourself from this momentum. Because the mind, honestly, is just a device that holds on to information. And the mind can also keep us stuck in lower vibrational thoughts. But it's also your power over your mind to start choosing better thoughts. And that's what's going to turn everything around for you. So this is the good news for group number 2. Hope is on the horizon. Inspiration is there waiting for you. Maybe surrender your mind and your thoughts to this higher power, to God, to source energy, to Jesus, or whatever higher deity that you believe in. Surrender your negative thoughts to that. And sometimes it does require us to ask for help, especially when we don't know what else to do. And then when you surrender the mind, you will start feeling that source of inspiration, that renewal, that hope, that excitement, that something new. It's coming in for you. It's showing up for you. It's guiding you towards the light. So, at the beginning of your video, the Herkimer Diamond, I was looking at it and I was thinking, okay, well, the Herkimer Diamond will open up your crown chakra. The crown chakra is what allows you to connect with higher realms or higher dimensions, or even your higher self, the angelics and other beings. But it's possible to be in such a low state of mental vibration that you don't realize that you're connected with the angels and your higher self. It's always been there, just waiting for you to recognize that you're the one that needs to pull yourself out of this negative thinking. You've never been disconnected from your higher self or the angels or your guides, but you might have thought, you may have felt like, you may have thought that you were disconnected, but you've never actually been disconnected from Source or the universe. You've always been connected to that. Maybe your mind has just been distracted. It hasn't allowed you to remember or allowed you to feel connected with everything else. So these are deep messages, and I'm not trying to make light of anything. I'm just trying to let you know that the power of the mind is very powerful, but it's also your choice to change what you're thinking, to pull yourself out of some sort of spiral. And of course, if you need professional help, then get whatever help that you need to get. But a lot of the times, we're the ones or the only ones that can pull ourselves out of this when we're ready to. And if you're listening to this pick a card reading, pile number 2, you're ready to pull yourself out of that state of despair. There's something new, there's something beautiful, there's something wonderful waiting for you to connect with that. But this is your faith. Your faith in believing that there is something better that is waiting for you as soon as you redirect your attention and your mind towards something better. Okay, so these are the messages I have a group to. I was just looking at the planetary placements, and I completely understand some experiences can feel quite intense, but there is something waiting for you to reach out to it now, and it's going to pull you out of this, whatever this is that you've been navigating. It's already available to you. So this is your reading. I hope I've brought you a sense of hope and joy, and try to just change or choose one happy, positive thought and start just simply speaking that affirmation, and watch how your life and your reality begins to change, and it begins to lift your spirits through that one positive action that you choose to take for yourself. So if you enjoyed the video, please do click the like button. If you are interested in learning more about your astrological health or well-being, other transits, or any other kind of things you might be experiencing that maybe don't make sense, if you'd like a private reading, I'm always available for those kind of readings as well. But I'm wishing the best for you. And I know there is something way better and inspiring on the horizon. As soon as you lift your head and you start looking for that, it will find you. Bye for now. Hello, group number 3. If you were drawn to this card, this faith image, or the blue calcite, so I have a good news for you. So what is the good news? Let's find out. So this is a transitional reading. I've been playing around with the layouts. I'm going to use the Astro Matrix to see if there's an energy or a lesson or an experience that you've been in that you're moving out of, and then there's something new that you're moving into. So let's just pull some cards for you. And then what are you stepping into? What should you be looking for? What is available for you? What is the good news? Let's find out. Ooh, okay. 7 of Swords. Hierophant, do I have that? Okay. Not really in any particular order. Honestly, so what you've been doing in your reality or your life somehow, group number 3, you've been experiencing like some sort of a spiritual thing, a spiritual lesson, but maybe even trying to avoid that by focusing on money. But there's something that's trying to lure you away from pursuing money or material goals for the sake of a spiritual experience. Okay, and claiming your values, your self-esteem. But again, the Seven of Swords is, I feel like you're called to, you're feeling like you really want to take this leap of faith. You're ready for something new. But whatever you've been navigating, which could be part of your spiritual growth, may not necessarily be something that you were wanting to take full responsibility for. And maybe you're just wanting to escape it or get away from it, right? The Eight of Cups. So there's something that there's some sort of a reality or a process that you're stuck in, or maybe you're just being stubborn because perhaps you don't want to do the energy stuff or the lesson stuff, or maybe you can't see the higher perspective in your situation and you're just wanting to. Now I'm picking up on it's maybe how many of you are really just wanting to move? You want to move somewhere because you think moving somewhere else is going to change your situation. But the truth is that wherever you move, wherever you go, everything is going to follow you. So if there's something that you're not currently dealing with right now as a part of your spiritual path, or something to do around lessons with money and attachment to things, then even if you have the opportunity to move, you're still going to take all of those troubles or issues with you. You see what I mean? So let's look at the other cards to see what you're stepping into, or what are your options. And you have these options now if you choose to pursue them or participate in them. Okay, so this is, I feel like, okay, I'm not laughing at you because I can relate to this Tower card. And I'm thinking, maybe every day you wake up and you're thinking, oh my gosh, well, how do I escape this reality? So there's something in your daily life that you think that you should be experiencing or that you should be doing, but it's just not happening for you. And so every day you wake up to this reality, and maybe life keeps changing every day, or maybe you're the one who's changing spiritually every day. But there's still energies here that make me want to say that you're just wanting to get away from the situation. You're wanting to move. You want to go somewhere different. You're wanting a different experience. But this experience is going to continue to follow you because it's part of your life path and your purpose. So you have the free will to choose to take a leap of faith and commit yourself to this spiritual plan. Or you can continue to avoid it and keep wishing that you were somewhere else. But if you keep avoiding it, wishing you were somewhere else, then you're going to be missing out on this opportunity for personal growth. So let's compare really quickly, because we already tapped on this. The moon, there's avoidance, your higher mind, your higher self. Your higher self is really just trying to get you to chill out and believe that everything is going to be okay. Have faith. Patience is part of the lesson. Oh, maybe that's why I'm picking up on this wanting to get away or move or escapism. Perhaps you're uncomfortable with patience. Maybe you're uncomfortable just sitting with yourself or waiting for something, especially if you feel like nothing is happening, or if you feel like the world is changing or your reality is changing. What's happening is you are shifting through timelines, and your consciousness is probably shifting, but your 3D mind is probably thinking that you should, in fact, still be having more control over the material things. But everything is happening right now, or slowing down, or not allowing you to move, because the spiritual lesson is to Take time to nurture yourself, love yourself, find ways to feel worthy, even if you're waiting for something else to happen. Fall in love with your life, fall in love with yourself, fall in love with your experience. There are other things that you can be doing, especially if you have limited resources. You can love yourself. You can do things to nurture your body, your health, your well-being. Take bubble baths. Like the cover card image on pile number 2. Find more pleasurable things in your daily routine that you can do on your own without the need to have to go somewhere. So I know that maybe many of you are wanting to be free, you wanting to free yourself from a situation. Maybe some of you are hoping for financial freedom so that you can just, go somewhere else and do whatever you want without having to worry about all this other stuff. But it's almost like life is saying, well, you're going to have to get comfortable with all this other stuff before you're going to be freed, or before you'll be able to feel free. So for some people, it's difficult to deal with daily reality, especially if your reality is changing, but your third eye is opening. This is why you've got your guru, you've got your higher self, you've got this Hierophant, you've got your spirit guides, this higher power. It could be the sun that is guiding you to a higher perspective, to believe in yourself, to realize that you are worthy, to try and notice the blessings that are all around you right now in this moment, where in this moment, if you feel like you don't know what to do, and that's driving you crazy because maybe you don't have anywhere to go, or you know what I mean? And even that in itself is enough to drive someone to go mad, but it's almost as if it's a spiritual lesson forcing you to get real with yourself, to get comfortable with yourself, to maybe even connect with your inner self, your higher self, your spiritual self, your soul. It's funny, I just heard in my mind that you can find the most pleasure in the simplest things, in the simplest daily routine, including, go out to nature and enjoy the flowers. I don't suggest you pick the flowers. If you pick the flower is going to die. You know what I mean? But you can observe it, you can watch it, you can enjoy it. Enjoy the sunrise, enjoy the sunset. Find little things that make you feel better about yourself or even your situation. And I don't know what situation any of you are experiencing right now, but I do feel like you're ready for something else and you want to go, you want to move, you want to travel, you want to be doing other things. You feel like you should be able to do other things while you're waiting for something to happen. But if you're limited, the lesson here is to learn how to feel free even when you are being limited or restricted. Which kind of makes sense, but this is you're experiencing limitations materially, like in your external reality. You might feel limited on what you can go and do. But what if this whole purpose or process has been to make you focus on you, to realize that the only limitations that are limiting you are the ones that you have in your mind. The limitations that you think are restricting you. What if that's just a product of your mind? What if you're free to feel however you want right now, to eat whatever you want right now, to go for a walk? You're free to enjoy your daily routine. Wow, talk about deep messages. So this is what you've been working with, dealing with. The Spirit's been trying to get you to surrender because something new, something unexpected, opportunities are going to be showing up for you soon. And I can't help but notice you've got the sun in Aries here. The sun just recently went into Pisces when right, like right now. But so there's going to be definitely something shifting forward, probably in the month of March for you, or when the sun goes into Aries. I do practice Western astrology, so, if you practice a different astrology, then do consult yours. But something, I don't know how long you've been limited or feeling restricted, but I feel like very soon, even within the next month, something's going to set you free. So my question for you will be, are you ready to take responsibility with yourself and all this freedom that you have? Something to think about. Let's pull some more cards for you. Group number 3. Oh, sorry. Almost knocked my chair over. So what more does group 3 need to know? So, yeah, usually it's like what the mind is thinking can create our own prison. Resistance, right. Maybe you've been a little bit stubborn trying to force something to happen. Second house, finances. Mercury, Taurus, interesting. So you've been learning lessons about how to become more resourceful with your time or with your money. That's what you've been navigating. There's this card. Oh. And so this is what you're going to be receiving? Inheritance. Oh, so this is, okay. So there's a Saturn cycle, Scorpio. So you've been in the process of becoming more resourceful. Scorpio energy is very resourceful, but you've probably been dealing with some sort of limitation or restriction with a Saturn transit, wherever it's transiting in your astrology. Because, well, if you're about to be freed soon from something that's been limiting you, right? It's only freeing you because you've learned how to become more responsibility with your resources, your time, your finances, your faith, your actions. You've been kind of forced. Oh, I feel like you've been forced to learn how to become responsible for you in every way. Your own support system emotionally, your own financial support, your own positive support, your spiritual inspiration. So whatever cycles or lessons you've been dealing with or that you've been wanting to get away from have been making you stronger to the point where maybe you do surrender and say, like, okay, I give, right? I'm tired of fighting against the restriction or the opposition or the limitation or the not being able to do anything or go anywhere, or you know what I mean, this freedom, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're free. But you can only be freed when you've learned how to become responsible for yourself. So there's like second house, 8th house here. So this could be a major eclipse transit that's also happening for you. It really depends on where it's happening in your life. But I hope that this is making sense for you. But this is the good news, is that you are going to be set free soon. But it almost kind of feels that during whatever process you've been navigating, you have learned that you can't necessarily rely on anybody else, which is why you've had to learn how to become responsible for you and yourself alone for everything. Life lessons. I'm really excited about this new energy that is about to... This might happen as soon as this next eclipse. There's a lunar eclipse. But it's definitely very soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these messages. I hope they weren't too deep or too detailed for all of you. If you enjoyed the video, please do click the like button. I hope I got you excited about life again, in the least. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now. Hello, group number 4. If you were drawn to the success card and image or the pink calcite, I have good news for you. So this is a good news pick a card reading, but I'm experimenting with a new card layout, and let me show you what I mean. There's going to be old energy, something that you've been working through, and then there's something new on the horizon for you. So I'm going to use the Astro Matrix for your reading today, group number 4. So what do you need to know? Let me just shuffle these really quickly. Group number 4. So what have you been navigating or working through, working with, dealing with? So there's 1, 2, 3, and let me pull one more card. 4, and then what is the new energy? What is the good news? What are you stepping into? What are your options? I kind of want this one. I don't want the cards stuck to each other. There's that one. There's that one. Okay. 8 of Wands, 4 of Cups. So honestly, something's happening really fast. Let me put these here. Something that you don't see coming. Success. And even more of that, something that you don't see coming. Blessings. Queen of Cups. Okay, the 0, the Fool, the 10 of Pentacles. Well. Okay. So this layout reveals something that's ending, something that's beginning, like you're phasing out of a shift or a cycle and you're moving into something new. This is the something new that you don't see coming. It's like, seriously? It's like, oh my gosh. So you might be thinking that you're having a tough time, or maybe some of you are uncertain about your future. If you've been waiting for something to happen, or even good luck or fortune on your side, and you don't see this coming, you probably don't feel it coming. And so it's really easy to get into a state of despair, especially if you don't see your immediate future. But this is what's about to happen for you. So let's come over here and look at your cards and your messages. So what have you been dealing with and working through? Values, self-esteem, maybe money. I think everyone seems to be concerned about money at the moment. And so what you've been navigating is an opportunity, a lesson, or an opportunity. In the past, at some point, you were given an opportunity to try something new. Right? Page of Pentacles. You can learn something new. But also your intuition has been in the process of waking up. Something has been freeing you, liberating you from your mind to try and get you to pay attention to the deeper meanings or cycles of things. The moon energy, how you're feeling. Okay. So the Mercury and Sagittarius with the 8 of Wands is like quick moving, quick thinking thoughts. So what you've been dealing with, and maybe you have an overactive mind. Maybe you are what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you take on too much. Maybe you want to try everything. Maybe you want to do everything. Maybe you want to create everything. But in a sense, it's like life has been, and I don't know how long this has been going on for you, life has been trying to get you to slow down and get out of your thoughts and tune into your heart, tune into your creativity, tune in to listen to the flow of your intuition, because intuitively your guides have been helping you navigate a new life, or to help you to build or create some sort of success for yourself. Again, it could be a creative But I mean, look, you've got the Ten of Pentacles over here. This is what's happening. But what's happening for you is a deeper sense of fulfillment and pride based on something that you've been taking responsibility for and producing. You've been in the process, or you've been guided towards creating your own success story. Whether or not you see this as a success story, but this is what's been happening for you. And so you're moving out of this fast moving, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to try, I'll just try everything. So whether this is a new job or something inspirational, or it could be your relationships, or maybe you've been working on your intuition or connecting with your higher self. But what these are saying is, like, in the past, you've been freed from some sort of structure or routine, maybe from your job. Some of you got laid off. So you've been trying to figure out what you can do on your own, to create a source, a stream of income for yourself. That's the best way I can describe this. It's almost like your spirit guides have been offering you guidance all along the way, but maybe you just haven't been paying attention. You haven't been looking. You haven't been... Well, it makes sense. If you have headphones on, if you're listening to music all the time, you're constantly distracted. You're never going to hear your spirit guides. You're never going to tune into your intuition if you're constantly distracted by some sort of external noise. Okay. I feel like life has been pulling you away from that external noise, the external distraction, to get you to go deeper, to help you to create a different kind of success for yourself in your life, something that's going to make you feel really good about yourself. And this could be any kind of success. It's creative success, but it's something that you are passionate about, with the pink calcite crystal. And so maybe you've been navigating a lot of darkness or uncertainty I don't know how long you've been in this process of trying to create something of your own, creating your own success. But what's interesting here is soon you're going to be receiving rewards and blessings with Jupiter in some area of your astrology chart. But this comes with your feeling good about yourself, feeling purposeful, happy, balanced, supported. Something from your heart that you're putting into this creative goal to create success in your life. And maybe some of you have in the past taken a complete leap of faith, and maybe this is something that is right here in front of you that is about to happen. But look what else is here. The Ten of Pentacles. So this is what's in your immediate future. Okay, so there's astrology here, and I don't know your astrology charts, but so Uranus is going to be shifting you out of something, creating a new beginning, a new mindset, new happiness, new wealth, prosperity. And also you're going to be receiving blessings, but I don't know if there's an opportunity for you to teach. Maybe you're already a teacher. But unexpected blessings are coming in, but these unexpected blessings are showing up in your life through people that support you with whatever your creative idea was. So some of you might be artists. You're definitely creators. You definitely have been inspired to create your own kind of business somehow where you can earn a living for yourself and create this own success story for yourself. Full of creative ideas. Your mind is busy. So I want to ask all of you, pile number 4, what have you created for yourself? Or have you been continually distracted by everyone else? Maybe you haven't taken these options, or you haven't taken the steps or created a business or a practice, something that you can support yourself financially with. Maybe you haven't done any of those things. Maybe you've been having to continue focusing on everybody else. So that being said, with these cards, what you don't see coming, that's going to pull you out of this. Maybe you don't want to create your own success story. But there's something else that's going to be shifting, and it's almost creating a new beginning for you anyway. So this shift or this new beginning, it could be happening with the eclipses or something else, definitely, or a transit, right, in your astrology. It's definitely happening this year. However, the success story could be a new beginning. And so what's the best way I can describe this? What if this new beginning is a metaphor for, okay, you've been successful with this last cycle or phase in your life. Whether you did something with that cycle or phase or not, you're still successful in life and you're leveling up. And so for some of you, everything might change soon. But it's your life that is happening for you. And if you believe in reincarnation, if you believe that your soul created this whole blueprint life and these experiences for you, for the sake of the experience, and you trust in your higher self, then you should also be trusting that something amazing, something new, even if it's something totally unexpected, is about to show up for you with this new beginning or these blessings, helping you to embrace this new beginning or this new cycle or this new phase of success to help you move forward. Wow, so I'm curious how you guys are interpreting these on your own, but I'm just the interpreter here. I can only interpret in the way that I perceive, but you have the perfect right to perceive these in whatever way it works best for you. Go with that. Believe in yourself. Dare dream. Something amazing is on the horizon for you, coming in to help you to move up this ladder towards greater success in your life. And this is the good news for you. Group number 4. I'm noticing there's an awful lot of 8s here. 888. There's a 4, 4. Yeah, there's 2. Nope, there's 3 4s. 4, 4, 4. So blessings, abundance, prosperity. But this new beginning on the horizon. Okay. Group 4, I hope you enjoyed this general pick-a-code reading. If you did, please do click the like button. If you would like more information or assistance in this process, if you totally relate to this, but you would like to know more about your astrology, the timing of things, the cycles, your birth path, your purpose, etc. If you'd like a private reading, feel free to reach out to me. My links are all down near the timestamps. Other than that, please do click the like button if you enjoy my videos. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all again soon in another pick-a-card reading. Bye for now.